Hello everyone, welcome to Rob's Rogues, and more importantly, welcome to a Rob's Rogues Spotlight. This is the first chance I've had the opportunity to do something like this on my channel. This was sent to me from the wonderful guys at Active Mind Games, Kenneth in particular. Thank you very much, sir. There's me saluting you. I had reviewed the Lego display case, or kind of like their holder that you kind of see right here. You know, for all the Lego Batman figures and other Batman Lego minifigures that I had, and I had made mention in the review for this that I'd like to get, you know, a couple more of these to put some of my Lego minifigures in, and these don't come out very often, so hopefully I can find a couple of them. Well, of course, knowing my luck, all the places that I've gone to have kind of run out of these things. So Kenneth at Active Mind Games said, hey, I wonder if you would be interested in looking and reviewing one of our product. It would work perfect for your Lego minifigures, amongst other things. I went to their YouTube page and could kind of see how these worked, and they have a Kickstarter program going on right now, which I'm going to put a link down below of all the information that I have for them. So if you're interested in one of these, you can contact the guys at Active Minds. This by far, and they're still in their package, I've watched their reviews, but this by far is one of the coolest display cases that I've seen that is totally multi-use. For, you know, the Lego minifigures that, you know, Lego is making these cases for, this is about really the only thing you could put in here. I mean, yeah, I guess you could kind of put, you know, one of these type of figures that I've reviewed here, and he would, you know, set in there very well. But, you know, it's very Lego-centric, you know, with the, you know, top of it here. But the guys at Active Minds have come up with these cases that can literally take care of any of your collecting needs, you know, within a certain size, in a small miniature size, even down to something like maybe your hero This might be the thing for you. They sent me some magnetic strips, in case, you know, some of the, you know, lead figures that you have for, you know, like D&D and other things may have a magnetic base, so you can set this in there so things will kind of adhere to it. So, so here's the two, actually 4 magnetic strips that they sent me. And here's the back of the case, so you can kind of see what we've got going here. They can go horizontal, vertical, stacked on top of each other. You can, if you have, let's say, 4 of these, you can do 2 to the front, and then they'll clip to the back, so you could have them, you know, like this if you want to, or you can have them stacked on top of each other. So I know I'm not showing you a whole lot right here just by looking at the outside, but you can see this patented interlocking system, which this interlocking system is really, really cool. I like how this works, and if maybe some of the gaming that you do, this can actually kind of act as some type of a shield if you're kind of not wanting to see somebody see your cards or the things that you're playing. So you can kind of see some stuff there. Even as far as pins, I've been getting some of the Legion of Collectors Funko stuff that have the metal pins on them. I'm like, what am I going to do with those? These magnetic strips, the buttons and pins will adhere right to that, and I could display them really nice in a collector's case. But you could see all the different styles and different ways of interlocking them. They can kind of swivel and hinge. I'll show you these as we go through, but this is really cool. It says connect them to, top to bottom, back to front, store your big figs with your filler whole teams side by side, adjust the handle. The handles were also really cool. So there was a whole lot of different ways that you can organize and display and transport. Transporting is the other thing. If you're going to do some gaming, this is a really nice way to transport everything that you're going to be maybe going to your LCS and you want to take all your cards and your minifigures or what have you. The X case looks like it's going to be really cool to do. So I've done this for a little bit. Let's actually open one of these bad boys up and let's take a look at the X case expandable transport and display from the guys at Active Mind Games. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. All right, we have one of the X cases opened up, and I've got a menagerie of stuff here off to the side, including a Matchbox car, to be able to store kind of whatever you would like in here, even some cards and some different things. I like the way that this operates, that the door here, it's on a couple little clasps up here, nothing that you haven't really seen before, but I like the way that it's designed. Sometimes you get some of these plastic cases, as you kind of see the other stuff I've got here. Sometimes with doors and different things, the doors, you bump it, it'll pop off, and I like that there's this little hook right here. It's going to prevent this thing from tipping over and causing, just the weight of whatever happens to be in here to force the little clear plastic door. So I like that there is this little tab here that kind of prevents that. I've had some different type of cases where just by putting pressure on it, the thing pops open and everything that you have inside spills out. So I like that it's easy to get to. It comes down just like a drawbridge or something like that. So it's very easy to get in, or if you're using it this way to be able to pull your cards out, which I do have some cards here. So I'm wondering if the deck building cards are going to fit in here. I know like normal size playing cards will. So here's my Stargirl card. Oh, that's going to fit in there. So it won't fit in, this way, but I could set a stack of cards in this way, and there's a little bit of space in here. I think you can kind of see. So that'd be nice if I could get a nice stack of cards and then continue on, filling all of them up. And there's, a little bit of space for it to kind of slide around in there, so it's a little easier to get and pull them out if I'm going at it from the side or what have you. So it's nice that the deck building cards sit in there. So if we go to a comic book store that has, deck building tournament going on, rather than take all these different boxes and things like that, I could put, and even in the case itself, I could drop all those in there. Bam, I've got them ready to go. Plus it looks kind of cool being able to have this nice nifty little display case, which getting a lot of felt and lint on it. I even brought some crayons up here. You know how long I've had these crayons? Never used them, but art supplies would sit in here very well. My wife does a lot of scrapbooking, so a lot of her pens, pencils, even her paints would set up stacked nicely here. So if you do a lot of, if this is one of the metal miniatures that you're painting, all your painting supplies would sit in here. I don't have any of the painting tubes to be able to stand in here, but a standard size, little painting tube, I believe, if you go to their YouTube page, you can kind of see an entire case of nothing but paints. That's pretty cool. One of the things that kind of spurred them to send this to me is my Lego minifigures that I can set in here different ways if I want to. I've also seen some people from one of their demos and just some of their illustrations that they have, measure the distance that's in here, and I'll tell you what the distance is. This is almost 3.5 inches tall right in here, just a tad under 3.5 inches. But measured the inside of this, I think I said diameter, but measured the inside of this and made a little scene that I could kind of put put your minifigures in here to kind of reenact a little something if you would choose to do so. Like I said, the Hero Clicks will fit in here just as well. These new little Teen Titan Go Robins that I recently picked up would work really nicely in here. And it's nice that I would be able to close this up, and then you have two little spots here that if I want to put a couple nails on the wall, and bam, I would have this thing set up, and it would look really nice to have my stuff displayed in here. And I have to make sure they're balanced and all that type of stuff. So let me show you here I've got one of the other ones right here. Now, one thing I will say that came with these cardboard dividers in here, this is probably the one drawback that I have with this, is that there's no set type of divider in here if I want to keep cards on this side and dice on this side. But what's nice is these cardboard sleeves come with it that I'm actually going to kind of keep these, that I can set and move these around to kind of make little sections if I wanted to. And I may even make a couple of these myself. They're not very hard to make at all. So this might be something, if I was active mind games, that I might come up with a little something like this, that some of us that are wanting to like compartmentalize different things, that we could set a series of dividers in here, if like cards on one side, dice in the other, if you're doing like Dice Masters where you have cards and dice, so you don't have dice floating all over the place, maybe dinging up your cards if you don't have any type of a case, or if I've got, you know, HeroClix on one side and cards, or various type of things, or maybe I've got metallic paint here, gloss paint, and flat paint. That might be one of the only other things I would think about potentially expanding on this. But other than that, I think this is really slick. And the coolest thing that I really like about this is that these are connectable in some different ways. Now, they recommend you put together the front here, which they should go just like I was making that way harder than it needed to. Slot A into tab B, Robbie, that's all it needs. So, bam, they're interlocked right there. So I could have the other set here, connect just like so. Now they're all locked. So I could take them to wherever I was going. There are two handles up top. And the cool thing I like about this, like, oh look, I've got a handle here, I got a handle here, I got to try and carry this thing this way, just by pushing down, if I get this right, push down, handles come out. Trust me, the handles come out. Talk amongst yourselves. Go down, there we go, pops right out. It's making that really hard. So, kind of push down, there it comes out. So the handle can come across. I'm going to take this side off as well. It's a little difficult having the camera right in front of me. I can't get up next to it like I should be able to. There we go. So there's a little hook here off to the side. So I don't mind having to finesse to get this off a little bit, because you can see the little end right here. A lot of handles are just a straight piece, so just by having weight on it, it'll pop right off. So you have to kind of push down and then slide out to get this little nipple, for the lack of a better word, to come out of the recessed spot up here. Very cool design. So as you can kind of see, I struggled getting it off just a little bit, but I'm okay with that, because when I go picking up, if I had paint in here, some cases that you may get from like Hobby Lobby or whatever, once you get enough weight in this thing, because of the way they design their handles, it'll pop right off. So push down, kind of stretch it out just a little bit. Boom, there you go. Now the handle's coming across, so I don't have to worry about the case. If I accidentally push this release right here for this end to come out, it's not going to go anywhere, because I've got the weight of the case evenly distributed. So that is really, really pretty slick. There, it's a lot easier to take them out now that boom. Very cool. You just push this tab, and the case comes out. So this is what I was talking about. If you're playing, you know, tournament, whatever, you've got your cards showing, you can have your cards sitting down here. Batman Animated Series cards. So in case you're counting hit points or whatever, I've got like a little, you know, barricade or barrier in front of me. Or, probably more importantly, if I'm working out of something and I want to have everything set up, I can kind of have it set up, get into my case, pull whatever I need out. So not only do they attach front like this, they can also be attached up and down as well. So let's rearrange the camera here so we can see this. So I'll slip this side off. And they recommend you stack, if I was going to stack multiples of these, so let's see how they work right here. Did not get them in their slots lined up, so tabs go right there. There, now they're interlocked and we're ready to go. That is pretty slick. So then if I had another set of two over here, I could combine and have a nice like tackle type of a box to go through and be able to stack many different items. Let's say maybe I had all my cards on the top layer, all of my mini figurines down the bottom. Be very, very cool. Put a handle on and you're ready to roll. There we are. So I was attaching the handle there. This is really, really slick. I like this a lot, and being able to, like I said, all the different clasps and hooking mechanisms can work different ways. I really like that. Of course, you can infinitely stack up and up and up and up. So if you had a whole wall of different things that you were displaying, you could just have an inner set of locking X cases just going on and on and on, and you can have some, maybe if you have a nice sharp corner in one of your rooms, maybe you can kind of come out this way. I think the possibilities are really endless for a product like this. And I like that it doesn't stop here. If the table wasn't there, this would go, or if this bottom piece wasn't here, it's not like I've got to sit here and I've got to reach around this. It can easily come down into a nice working order. This is one of those all-in-one video games where you have the video game controller and you put Wonder Woman or Superman or Batman or whatever it is on top of the video game controller that you hook to your TV and you're playing as that character. This is about as tall as I have anything in this case. So I think this is really, really pretty slick. So if you collect cars, Matchbox cars, you have cards. So here's a normal set of playing cards. And they will fit in here rather nicely. Now, this is inside the normal box, so I would probably want to take them out, but as you can see, even a normal deck of cards, so if you're somebody that wants to play poker, imagine getting your poker deck in here and all your chips, and you would be set and ready to go. So, if you're like me, you're looking at some of your little collectibles and go, how am I going to display these things in a cool way? This might be the setup for you. Click down here below and check out their Kickstarter. It just started the 1st of May. So I've got all of my mystery mini Arkham figures in here. And wouldn't you know it, it's full. I need to go get another one because I've got all my BVS mystery minis and my Suicide Squad mystery minis and my Lego figures that I've got to put in cases. Check out Active Mind Games X Case. This might be the thing for you. And as always, this is Rob for Rob's Rogues, signing off saying we will see you guys next time.